Welcome back, everyone, to our quick overview study in the book of Matthew, chapter 22. Here we are into another pericope, a story about the wedding feast. Pretty self explanatory. Those who come to the wedding feast will be let in, but apparently not all of them. Some people don't have their wedding garments on. Most people associate this with you're a Christian, but you're a fake Christian, basically. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think some people along those lines of what they're saying about it, mostly right. But I think what's really being said here is you got in by accident. You weren't really supposed to be here. You faked it. So going around thinking you're saved and then to find out one day that you were wrong, you're not really saved, is kind of disingenuous if someone's giving you that advice. If you have a relationship with God and you're praying and you're being guided, you're good. It doesn't matter how or what or when you do things, you have the insurance. You're on the path to success. You got the insurance, you're fine. But if you pretend, if you're a fake, and you try to work your way in, that may work here. I talked to many people about this over the internet and the things that they say. They're pretending and they're lying to people, just like you. And they're saying things that aren't untrue, but they're only saying it for themselves. You see these mega pastors, they're just doing it for themselves. They only care about themselves and what they want to do. And they're using religion to get it. They're taking advantage of people. Things like that. This is millstone in the bottom of the sea material for the people that faked getting in. But they never had the garments. They should have had the garments, but they didn't because they did it the wrong way. They pretended, they were found out, and they were cast back out into darkness with everyone else. And again, being a story, I think that's the lesson. And I'm pretty sure you can count on that. Here we're talking about the poll tax with Caesar. And this again plays into the rich man. We have all this money. We have things, money's everything. Money can buy you anything. It's power. It can even buy you certain positions of power in government, for example. Many rich people overnight can become celebrities. But you need to understand that what's happening here is the money belongs to Caesar. So give to Caesar what's his. Give the material things back to the earth, the material world. For the modern day Christian, the things that you get, money, gold, it doesn't mean anything. Treasures in heaven is what matters. And that's just an analogy. But basically, you have turned away from your natural self. You've turned away from this world and you turned towards God. You saw the light. You did a 180 and you look at him and you say, I get it. That's when you start. That's when you start doing things that matter. In a place where you'll spend an eternity, I guess. I don't exactly know how it works, but you will go to be with him. And what you do here now, what you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. What you loose here on earth will be loosed in heaven. When you go there and they look at the things you've done here, that's what will matter. Those are the treasures in the heavens. The material things down here will be left here. When you die, you won't be taking it with you. I guarantee you that. So what good is it? Give it back to them. Don't worry about it. If you're worried about where you're going to get your rent, how you're going to get your car fixed, leave that up to God. He'll take care of it. You don't think he can't fix your car? He's actually done it to me many times. I've asked some really stupid stuff, and it just worked out. Funny that. Now, when we get into the Sadducees asking a question about the resurrection. I won't get into it, except the part where they do talk about, I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. He is not the God of the dead, but the living. This is very important. I just want you to pay attention to that part of what he's saying. He's not the God of the people asking these questions. He's the God of the living. Now, we get into another part. I think it's in Luke where he asks a question, "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment of all in the law?" Now, in Luke, I think it's Luke, it's this man asking the question that asks, because he asks a question, and then Jesus says, "Well, what do you think it is?" And Jesus here gives the answer. So obviously the author had a problem with a Sadducee, Sadducee, or a lawyer, a scribe, a lawyer, asking this question. So here, Jesus is asking the question. I think this is Q material, maybe Luke special sources. Not really sure, doesn't really matter. As long as you know that here, Jesus is saying it, and I believe it's Luke. He's the person that asked the question is saying it. But you also have to understand that in situations like this, you think, oh, well, the Bible isn't real. It's fake. It's faulty. That's not really the point. The whole point of this New Testament, the whole point that they're bringing to you, that they're conveying to you, is exactly what it says. You shall love your God with all your heart, all your soul, and with all your mind. Also notice that's a Old Testament reference. This is the great and foremost commandment. The second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Pay attention to this part. On these two commandments depend the whole law and the prophets. The whole law and the prophets. That's everything in those two commandments. Do you see how simple that is? Yes, simple and easy it is to live by that. This is all that matters. Everything else is just fun. Going to church, fun. Talking about religion, fun. Doesn't really matter. Unless you're doing it for evil purposes. Then it's millstone time. But here, this is what's important. This is what matters. If you can do these two things, you're good. If you have faith in him and faith in what he's saying, you're good. You don't have to worry about anything else. I promise you. This is what's important. It doesn't matter where it comes from. It doesn't matter who says it. It's being conveyed to you right here. This is what matters. This is it right here. Okay? Keep that in mind. Highlight it like I did. I didn't put prophets there, but don't worry about that. It's all important. I think we'll stop there. We're getting into Matthew 23, and then we get into Matthew 24, and we're going to have a lot of stuff. Probably going to have to break it up in a few videos because, again, there's so many misconceptions. People say this, people say that. It's really, really hard to know what it really says unless you study it for yourself and you have the proper understanding without any opinions or adulterations or views. You just want to know what the words say. I'm going to give you the words so you can figure it out. But when we start Matthew 23, we're really getting into it. So we'll see you on the next one.